So, what is it like living with bipolar disorder? Um, it kind of. I watched a documentary by Stephen Fry over a year ago now, and some of the people on it were saying how, oh, I've walked with the angels, and I wouldn't choose to not have bipolar disorder and all this shit, and it's just like, man, like this as an illness, it's fucking shit. Like, pardon my language, mum, if you're watching, but it is. I mean, it's taken me to some incredibly dark spaces. I have thought my housemate was poisoning me at one point. I've thought dead people are visiting me. I've contemplated suicide, and I've begged and I've cried for my life to end, and the depressions have been absolutely horrendous, and I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm not gonna romanticize this shit that I've lived with, you know. At the same time, the hypomanias have been beautiful. It's been, I mean, if anybody's ever tried MDMA, it's kind of been like that, but your mind is so clear and everything feels interconnected. I mean, I turn into a proper hippie when I get like this, or, horny bastard, or, I think I can do something like run a marathon, and that's when I spend money on things that I don't need to spend money on. And then there's the mixed states, which are just mental torture. It's just horrendous. And then, there's times when I don't have these symptoms, and that's when I actually feel, I don't know, just content. I know that I have a lot of gender stuff to deal with, but I'm not an unhappy person, but I do have this thing inside of me which can sometimes affect my moods quite terribly. And I guess, one thing which has been a huge influence to my life and has really helped me to manage living with bipolar disorder is learning about Buddhism and kind of ideas around impermanence and self-compassion, and kind of trying to kind of recognize that I have these feelings and kind of trying to accept them and trying to understand that they aren't permanent, because the world is always changing, and I guess I spent a lot of my life, although less so now, kind of avoiding becoming close to anybody and avoiding romantic relationships and avoiding committing to anything, because sometimes it takes a pretty bad depressive episode for people to walk away or to blame you for not pulling your own weight. And although granted, I know I could have managed things better in the past, but yeah. So I guess one of the main things with learning to manage my illness, I guess for me, I really, really appreciate when I'm well, and I really appreciate some of the human connections which have come through times of pain and people reaching out and being compassionate, but also, I guess in a way, I've learnt a lot, and I think, or I hope it's made me more of a compassionate person as well. So it's not all doom and gloom, but, fingers crossed, being on testosterone, I feel more balanced. So hopefully things are going to be a lot better from now on.